What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hammerdown Motorsports. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Steve Fast. I hope you guys are having an amazing day out here in Pennsylvania. We got a little bit of clouds today, but going to keep that heat down a little bit in the shop, so hopefully that is going to help us out a little bit. Today we are going to be doing what's in the box, our next mod on the Ram Rebel. It is something that's going to make this truck look a little bit more unique, so I'm very excited to install it. So let's get in the truck. We're going to do our cold start and head right down to the shop. And here's a little bit of a closer look on how it looks with the window tint. You can see it's the same as the rear, just makes the truck look so much more sinister and definitely gives you that little bit of privacy that I'd always miss when I drive a vehicle without window tint. And up here we have the brow, just makes that interior experience so much better in my opinion. And here's something that I really didn't notice that much with the black truck is when you take it to the car wash and they put tire shine on, it comes off these tires pretty easily and goes all over the paint. We got it over here on the back as well. I think we're gonna have to do something to remedy that very soon. And as you can see, we have 624 miles on the truck already. We're averaging 12.5 miles per gallon, and everything's been going pretty good so far. All right, everybody, here it is. We have our box. Let's take it over to the bench. Of course, I already opened it because I couldn't wait. So now let's find out what our third must-have mod for the 2019 Ram is gonna be. Let's find out what is in the box. We have, oh yes, the high power LED rock lights from Auxbeam. So big thanks to Auxbeam for sending us this product. We're gonna be laying them out here on the shop floor just to make sure that everything works before we install them, because there is a little bit of wiring that needs to be done. And we're gonna check out and see how bright these things are. All right, so we got everything laid out here on the floor. We got the 8-pod set. I've got my battery. I've got my little test wire here just to make sure that everything is nicely connected from negative to positive. What you wanna do with this when you hook it up into your vehicle, you don't wanna just hook it directly to the battery, because then you're relying on the app to make sure that it's on or off, and if it turns on, it can drain your battery, all that kind of good thing. Always a good idea to have a master switch on this kind of stuff and a fuse, and if you're using a switch going from direct 12 volt, I would definitely recommend putting in a relay as well, just to keep that load off the switch, and your switch is gonna last a whole lot longer. But with the standard kit from Auxbeam, you just get your positive and your negative that goes into your RGB controller, which is also Bluetooth, so you can hook it up to the app, and you can decide what's the best way to wire up your system. And this is the app that you wanna get. It is the Happily Lighting Bluetooth app. You can get it in the App Store or whatever device that you're using, Android or Apple. And this is what it looks like on your phone. You just kind of want to go into this menu up here. It's going to show your devices. You just want to hit the little light bulb. It'll connect to the system. We've got our power button here. And there it is. All our lights are lit, and you can control everything with the app. If you want to do different colors, you can just spin the wheel, or you can go over here, just get solid green, blue, yellow, all that kind of stuff. I mean, obviously you're using an RGB, so they've got 3 different LEDs which are gonna blend and make the color that you're trying to make over here on the app. So when it's on the vehicle, it's gonna look the color it's supposed to be. Also with the app, there's all kinds of different things that it can do. If you go with the microphone here, as I'm talking into the microphone, the lights are going crazy. When I stop, they stop. So if you have music or something like that going, it can kind of go to that. But there's a ton of functions within the app that you can play with, so it's definitely gonna be fun once they're installed on the truck. So as far as construction of the lights, we have an aluminum housing. You've got a heavy duty lens over here, and the wiring looks really nice. Everything is pretty much watertight. Over here, our connections, there's a little notch that you have to line up to make sure that the pins are all lined up in the right place. And then you have this little collar that's gonna go over top. Seal up your connection and you should be good to go. So as far as mounting the pods go, they give you 2 rubber mounts. So you have 2 different options. You have a flat mount like this one here. It's got all the release for the wiring. You do have your mounting hardware, and they also provide you with a round mount if you want to put this on a tube or a light bar or something like that. All right, so if you want to wire up your lights the same way I'm doing, these are a few things that you're going to need. We're going to use some split loom just to hide our wires, make everything look nice and neat underneath the hood. You're going to need a 12 volt switch. We're gonna put that under the dash. You're gonna need a fuse holder, and we're also gonna need a fuse as well. I believe we're gonna run a 5 amp fuse in this. It's probably not gonna pull a lot of amperage, so that should be enough to give us some circuit protection. And over here we have our relay with the relay harness. I will have links in the description for all this kind of stuff if you guys wanna grab your own. Also, we have some wire over here as well. And over here on my electrical connector box, I've kind of drawn out here to make it simple on how a relay works for those of you who don't know. Your pin 30 is gonna be your battery positive, 85 is gonna be your ground, 86 is gonna go out to your switch, and 87 is gonna go out to our lights. So with this setup here, you're gonna have nice circuit protection. You're gonna be able to protect your switch with your relay, and everything should be nice, neat, and out of the way. All right, so now that we have the truck up on the lift, I was just kind of mapping out where we're gonna put all the wiring. Usually when I do an install like this with underglow or anything like that, I'll just follow the factory harness, and then you can just tie up your wiring to the factory harness. Everything's nice and neat, and you don't have to worry about having wires everywhere or visible. So in doing that, I just kind of laid the pod just up there on the tire, and you can see that's how long our wire is. And now our module is all the way over there up by the battery. So you can see that that wire right here is definitely not gonna reach. So they do sell an extension kit for the wiring, and that's something that I definitely should have got in the first place, being that we are putting it on a crew cab truck. And there is definitely some distance between where we're gonna be plugging them into the module and where the pods are actually gonna be located. So definitely keep that in mind if you are putting them on a truck. So for right now, we're just gonna install the fronts because they will reach no problem, and then we're gonna get those wires coming, and then we can finish the rear. But for now, at least we're gonna see what the front's gonna look like with these pods installed. So now the fun part of drilling holes into your brand new truck. Basically, the inner fender is just really thin plastic anyway. It's not really a big deal. These are definitely replaceable if you ever felt that you wanted to replace them after taking your rock lights out, if you were to ever do that for any kind of reason. But I have no plans on doing that. These rock lights are gonna cover all the holes, and it's gonna look really, really nice. So what we have here, we have our hole drilled. We fish the wire through. Then we have our pod over here. So we're just gonna kind of push that up, position it where we want to, and then we're gonna drill our other 2 small holes for our mounting bolts. All right, we have our first pods installed on the left front, and I just kind of put them out of the way from where mainly the mud and rocks and everything's gonna come off the tire. So they're a little bit more towards the inside, and I really wanted to shine on the suspension more so rather than on top of the tire. And I just kind of placed them so they're both kind of at the same angle, and I think it's gonna work out really nicely. All right, everybody, we have all the lights off in the shop. We still do have a little bit of daylight coming in, but this should be enough so we can see at least our front lights until we can get those extension wires. And I still have a little bit left to do. I gotta run my relay and all that kind of thing. I just kind of hooked it up temporarily for now. And over here you can see we have the module right next to the battery box. And we're just gonna put in our relay and everything like we said earlier, run that through the firewall, have our switch underneath the dash, and we'll be all set with this system. So let's go on our app and hit that power button. Oh yes, have a look at that. We got all our pods working here in the front, cycling through all the different colors. And you're not gonna get a pure white out of these. You can see there's our white right there. Because it is an RGB, it's not an RGBW, so you're just gonna have your mix of your red, green, and blue to make all your different color combinations. But if we go onto our app right here, we can just change our color right from our phone. And then you can go through all the other options, and there's different modes, different pulse modes, and different speeds, different brightness, all that kind of thing. If we wanna hit our brightness, we can lower it down here almost to nothing, and turn it up to our brightest setting. So once you got your system installed, you can go ahead and just play with the app and do all kinds of amazing things with these lights, and I think they look absolutely amazing. So there you have it, everybody, the Auxbeam rock light system. We got the front ones on the Rebel. We are gonna be waiting for those extension lines so we can finish and get the rear done. And I'm gonna be running the relay and all that kind of stuff into the cab, getting a switch onto the dash. I'm gonna be making a custom switch panel for this truck, so that's why I didn't finish this up just yet, because there is a whole lot more work to do. So another big thanks to Auxbeam for sending us this kit. We will have a link in the description. And if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And as always, keep that hammer down.